Please join me in gassho, putting palms together. Since Shinjin arises from the bow, we attain Buddhahood through the Nembutsu by the Buddha bow's spontaneous working. The spontaneous working is itself the fulfilled land. Our realization of supreme nirvana is beyond doubt. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda 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 Butsu. はい、Good morning. はい、皆さんおはようございます。どうもおはようございます。First of all, thank you so much for having me. Today, continuously from yesterday's spring seminar and today's spring Ohigan service. Yesterday, due to somehow traffic was heavy, then I almost got late. But today, this morning, super smooth, so no obstacles. Like Nembutsu pass. Luckily, getting here. Way before my expected arrival time. So I'd like to thank the Reverend Dr. Wandra, Reverend Turner, and the Reverend Crane, and all the minister's assistants, and all of you having me to the Spring Ohigan, one of the major service at this time. So I prepared a couple of slides today, so it's very simple. So, since we are in the middle of Ohigan, equinox season, so I like to talk about its significance. Oh, by the way, so today's Dharma Talks is entitled True Meaning of Ohigan, Pure Land, and this. So, the term Ohigan originates from Tohigan or paramita, which means reaching the state of enlightenment. Some people may associate the word Higan with this, because literally the Higan means the other shore in comparison to this shore that's across the bridge. And that interpretation is actually not incorrect. According to Master Doshaku, whom Shinran Shonin deeply respected as one of the seven masters in the lineage of the Pure Land, he said that human life can be likened to the movements of the sun. So if the east, where the sun rises, symbolizes the beginning of life, then the west, where the sun sets, represents the end of life. So this idea is also reflected in the term, Japanese terminology, bannen, which literally means the sunset. It's in accordance with the late years of life. Jodo Shinshu teaches that while we are alive, we listen to Amida Buddha's primal vow and recite the name Namo Amida Butsu. After this, then we are born, we are going to be born into the Pure Land and become Buddhas. On the other hand, if we pass away without Shinjin, we do not know where we will go. Uncertainty about the future brings distress. So Amida Buddha established the supreme vow so that those who receive the Nembutsu and its virtue do not suffer from such confusion or remain lost in life. Instead, Amida Buddha prepared the Pure Land beyond the cycle of suffering, birth, and death. In the other hand, the Pure Land is the manifestation of a world free from delusion, rooted in the boundless compassion of the Buddha. So, do you think that this is the absolute end? Yeah, this is a profound question. So, one Buddhist, that's a priest, who is a writer and lived in the Kagoshima prefecture, I don't know which city, somewhere, Japan. They offered an insightful perspective, stating that reflecting on one's own death is also a way of contemplating one's own life. I recently read this passage in a book I received while helping my temple members' family moving out after their loved one had passed away. So I like to cite, and it goes like this. There are people who say everything is over after dying, but I question it. One day, I visited my member's house to conduct a memorial service for the host mother. The son greeted me by saying, "My mother managed to raise her 6 children, including myself, after she lost her husband. We are grateful to have received her devotion and love. Her daughter-in-law, who is the wife of the son, cooked and served dango sweets, which she learned the recipe from their mother. I ate one, and that was delicious. Meanwhile, I have a friend who hated his father, despite his being dead a while, for his unfavorable deeds, having bothered the people surrounding him. With carefully observing things around me, I feel that that statement seems not to be true. Everything is over after death. For those who only care about themselves, maybe this may sound so. However, Buddhism is the teaching to diminish our selfishness or ego. I am writing this article on the 14th of February, so the 15th is the day in memory of Nirvana Day. Let's think about the meaning of this, because to think of this is relevant to think about to be alive. Yeah. As the aforementioned, the priest stated, for those who think only of themselves, this may appear to be the final end, that literally dead end. This is because those who dedicate their life solely to fulfilling their desires lose all meanings once they can no longer satisfy those desires. Yet, desire is like a bottomless cup, so it can never truly to be filled. If one finds value only in the pursuit of desire, then the moment that pursuit ends, so does all meanings. Those who are bound by desire, so we know that is Bonbu. A priest of a Tendai school once said, "Foolish beings clings to attachment and cannot let it go. The Nijo people renounce them and never look them back." but the bodhisattva, even after letting go, still carry them for the sake of others. Reflecting on this, I believe that if Bonbu are those who cannot free themselves from attachment, and then for them, this is the end, and nothing more. Their fear of the unknown future keeps them in a state of confusion. So what Buddhism refers to as delusion. In contrast, Bodhisattva picks up that's what has been cast away and take responsibility for it. Likewise, Amida Buddha's vow is to guide Bonbu beings out of their darkness and into enlightenment. So here's the thing. So what is the difference between the desires of Bonbu and wishes of those bodhisattvas? To illustrate this, let me introduce a parable, the listening Jizo and the silent Jizo. So story goes like this. Once upon a time, a Buddhist priest came by a village to drop off 2 statues of Jizo. So these 2 are the statue of Jizos. According to that priest, he said that he had to move on his journey, but his destination was still far away. So he wanted to ask the villagers to babysit his statues. He had 2 kinds of Jizo statues. One Jizo will correct anybody's wish and make it come true. The other Jizo, however, won't. The priest advised the villagers to worship the Jizo who did not grant people's wishes. So he said they should have worshipped the silent Jizo. And then he left the village. The villagers gathered at the shrine where the priest's statues were enshrined. To check what he said, a person prayed his personal desire to the Jizo who can realize everything, and did it. Once people confirmed this magic, the others followed to ask for their own wishes to be realized. Then rumors spread. Every day, people worshipped the Jizo who was favorable to them. Everybody's wish was realized. All things seemed to go well. However, tiny complaint altered the people's mood. Finally, one person asked for another's unhappiness to protect her own benefit, and certainly it did. Another person asked for misfortune for his rival, and it was too granted. The Jizo listened to any kinds of desire, even if it was not a favor for people. Finally, the priest that came back from his trip, what he witnessed was disputes and fighting among the residents all around the village. And he learned the villagers went to the Jizo who listened to people's wish, everything, even though he warned them not to do. the priests picked up the statues and left the village in sorrow and disappointment. Story ends here. So this story teaches us that unrestrained desires lead to endless competition and strife. The villagers, seduced by the ease of wish fulfillment, became trapped by their greed. But in the end, their desires only brought suffering. The listening Jizo, in granting their wishes, had merely amplified their delusions. Why did the priest instruct the villagers to pray to the silent Jizo? The priest, in fact, I noticed, he should represent Shakyamuni Buddha, who warned us against making misguided desires. The silent Jizo, on the other hand, should represent Amida Buddha. So Amida does not grant self-centered wishes. Instead, Amida's ultimate aspiration prays on our behalf, not for fleeting worldly desires, but for the realization of ultimate enlightenment. Through the power of the name Namo Amida Butsu, so we are guided beyond the cycle of life and death into the state of peace. Lastly, I would like to mention today's Gosandai, the verse I cited at the beginning. Since Shinjin arises from the vow, we attain Buddhahood through the Nembutsu by the vow's spontaneous working. The spontaneous working is itself the fulfilled land. Our realization of supreme nirvana is beyond doubt. This hymn manifests that Amida Buddha's compassion, each one of us equally, and Amida's wish shall be realized as our Shinjin. Our recitation of the Nembutsu is directly connected to our birth into the Pure Land. Our journey with a clear destination is a joyful. The path to the Pure Land is already paved by Amida Buddha's vow, and there is no need to fear. A life illuminated by the Pure Land's truth does not end with a meaningless death is the end. Rather, we are embraced by the boundless compassion of Amida Buddha, transcending life and death along with the path of the Nembutsu. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening to my Dharma message. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.